Welcome back to the Supercar Connection podcast.
Revelto's the king of design.
The Revelto's board. Back in the stew, as we said.
Back in the stew. Do we think demand will be for like anything that's naturally aspirated V12? Are we going to see the V12 demand really hold for the next 10 years?
All right, so we're getting right into the new California FAST program, which is some crazy new laws they're rolling out around speeding here in this gorgeous state.
Gorgeous.
Before we get into it, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel. That helps us a ton. Liking takes 2 seconds, so we appreciate you. And quick update, episodes now for Supercar Connection are dropping Tuesday mornings instead of Monday mornings. I'm sorry if that disappoints you. Administratively, Tuesday is better for us. So that's how we're going moving forward. So happy Tuesday. It'll be Tuesday mornings from here on out. That's where you can expect to see our new episodes.
So our uploads are Tuesdays and Thursdays now?
Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesday morning.
Flows.
Yeah, Tuesday morning for Supercar Connection. Thursday morning on the Patreon for Supercar after SCC After Dark, where we talk about all sorts of things. So
if you guys haven't checked that out already, go do so right now because there's a ton of value there. Packed.
Yes, and it's all free right now. So go to the Patreon, join that. And the other thing is we have guest announcements ahead of time, so you can see who we're going to be having on, and you can actually ask questions on Patreon for us to ask the guest. So you can see the guest that we're going to have on, and you have a chance to actually submit questions for us to ask them that you might want to hear from them. So
literally
making it more interactive for you and the show. So go join, keep in touch. You'll get email notifications when we post who is going to be on. And you can pop in there, ask them some questions, and kind of contribute to the show.
My beautiful co-host here is foreshadowing something very much big happening. So make sure you pay attention to that update right there if you want to be able to get in touch with a high-level guest coming soon.
Yeah, that could be as early as this week.
Can be.
All right, so
California FAST law.
California FAST program, which FAST stands for, if you care, the Forwarded Actions for Speeding Tickets.
It's an acronym, FAST. I was thinking, I think they were just calling it the FAST law.
You think they came up? You think they talked to ChatGPT to get that? Give us an acronym for speeding tickets.
And using the word fast.
Yeah. So anyway,
that's terrible.
The gist of the law that's really getting people kind of up in arms is that if you get cited for going over 100 miles per hour in California, immediately that citation is forwarded to the DMV to be reviewed for the suspension of your license. They can suspend your license immediately before an actual court conviction. So it's kind of guilty before proven.
Really?
Yeah.
So basically, let's break this down. So you're telling me I'm going 100, I get radared, pulled over, okay? Cops comes over. I try to be very charming. He's not having it at all. I even try to show him my goods. He does nothing at all. He goes back, walks back. Here's a ticket with speed over 100 miles an hour. You're telling me basically they take that citation, send it up, and immediately, as soon as probably like 24 hours later, I can have my license suspended before even getting in front of a judge?
Yes. 100%.
I think, doesn't that break like quite literally what the United States judicial system is built on?
You would kind of think so. So technically this already exists with like DUIs. If you get a DUI, you can fight it. You can end up not getting convicted, which happened. I got to sit on a jury for a DUI case. And
you went to jury duty?
And there was I was the foreman of the jury.
I love it.
Ended up being a hung jury, so it was a waste of my time. So I won't talk about the details here. I don't know what sort of implication I can get into, but there was one guy that said not guilty, and that just kind of screwed the whole thing over.
Right.
Because everyone has to be in agreement.
Right.
Jury has to be unanimous for a conviction. So anyway, you can fight it, but for DUIs, you can get your license suspended immediately. I'm sure that usually happens. But now they're applying that to speeding tickets above 100 miles per hour. You get clocked on 101, that goes to the DMV. They check out your record and go, you've had 2 other speeding tickets the last 2 years or whatever like that. License suspended immediately before convicted.
That is insane. Obviously I have questions, and I know we're not the Department of Motor Vehicles, so we're going to discuss this right now. But like where my mind goes is this, and it kind of goes back to what I'm saying about like it breaks what the judicial system is. So like a DUI, right? Okay, you get pulled over, you get charged with a DUI. You're getting charged with DUI because you're blowing and you're you're hitting that number, you got to do it.
Not always.
Not always.
Not always.
What is the what is it? What does it fall into under any other
Well,
circumstances?
you can what's it called? You can turn down a breathalyzer test.
So then how does the cop figure that you're just because you're slurring your words? What if I'm just feeling it that day?
They can convict you based off the field test, the DUI field test.
So just because I have lazy
Walking a
balance,
line,
I'm cooked.
Now
Interesting. I
that's
didn't
probably an
realize that.
easier case to fight,
Right.
but you can what's it called? You can deny the breathalyzer test and they'll take you in for a blood test,
Okay.
and then maybe the time that it takes, you're clear or whatever. There's a lot of different things that go into it. So
Then if I get pulled over, and let's just say, go ahead.
look, this is I don't want to. I'm scared to even say this. Marco, don't clip this. Okay. This cannot be a clip, but I will share it on the podcast. So it is not uncommon in California for a blood test for a DUI to take 6 months from drawing the blood to actually make it to a lab to get tested for BAC content.
Wow.
Or C is content. So BAC, blood alcohol content. It could take 6 months just for sitting in a fridge in forensics before it actually gets tested.
It sounds like the DMV.
So that is what ended up happening in our case. And then they bring in all sorts of whatever expert they can to say that, that's no longer a valid test. Like, it's sat for 6 months. All sorts of things could happen. The sugar in the blood could then, ferment itself. Like the blood itself could ferment and cause a higher blood alcohol content than what the test actually was, because it took them so long. But I guess things are just so backed up that it can literally take 6 months.
That is wild.
To get the blood tested.
That's so wild.
So, yeah, that's a long ongoing thing. But just because they write you a DUI ticket, I'm sure there's people getting away or getting off of it every day.
I'm actually curious now, because if I get pulled over and I don't walk a straight line, I'm getting a DUI ticket. That means I'm charged, or I immediately have to I'll be able to go to court and then talk about it. And then what am I going to tell the judge? Yo, I just fell over on the line test and homie cooked me. I don't know what to tell you.
You're not going to tell the judge anything.
Obviously, you know what I mean. My representation will then
Your representation is going to sit there and argue all the arguments, and then they're going to call some expert witnesses to come up and spin whatever they can try to spin, and both sides will do that, and they'll fight back and forth until they try to plant whatever seeds of doubt they can to get maybe one person to go against you.
I'm just thinking in the sense that I get pulled over, because this happens to me often with speeding. I get pulled over, and I know the cop didn't radar me. I know he didn't radar me. He just saw me, right? I know it, because I saw him before he saw me. I was already going the speed limit, but I know I was coming up quick. But by the time he saw me, I'm already below 70 at that point, right? So he pulls me over, and he says I was going over 100. He gives me a ticket regardless, again, because he doesn't have to show me his radar. So he does that. You're telling me I'm potentially cooked with a license, even though I know homie did not catch me, and when I have to go to court and fight for my license back when I know the fucker didn't even get me?
Yep.
Hey, man, California makes so much sense. I love it here.
Yeah.
I love it.
But I mean, so for car people, this is tough because, like, one, I would never encourage someone to go over 100 miles per hour or speed in general, obviously. Of course. But
these international waters.
These cars are extremely fast. Extremely fast. And 100 miles per hour does not take long, and it is not difficult.
It also is not that fast.
It's also not that fast.
It just really isn't.
Especially on like an open road. Now, everything always comes down to a few people ruin it for everyone else.
Yeah.
When you've got an M4 just absolutely cutting up in some traffic and putting people at legit danger, those are the people that are ruining it for
You're so right.
everyone else.
You're so right. No supercar owner is causing this law to be changed. Like, they should just keep it. Let's just say, hey, if you're going over 100 miles an hour in the greater Glendale, Burbank area, that's when you're getting this type of thing. But you should not be all of California just over something like this, because that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is actually kind of sad. I'm thinking about how easy it is to float to 100. There's times where I'm going 100. I don't even, well, in Mexico, obviously, I'm going 100, and I don't even realize that I'm doing so.
Yeah.
Because it just feels so easy and light.
I know. It is not difficult at all.
Even in the Cullinan.
And if you're out of state and you're here and you get caught, they can suspend they can suspend you from driving in the state. They can't suspend your license. They can't suspend an out-of-state license, but they will submit the record to your state. Like they can submit the California suspension to your state for their own review.
Right.
And I don't know what sort of weight that carries at that point, but like even visitors, like think about supercar rallies and all that stuff. Like that could be a lot. Like the risk of having a supercar rally in California becomes a lot more difficult when you're bringing people into a state that penalizes high-speed driving.
It's pretty wild when you think about it.
Because you think even in the middle of nowhere, think like drives to Monterey and stuff or Car Week, like they've got helicopters and like airplanes in the sky monitoring. You could get a ticket for an airplane going 110 miles per hour in the middle of nowhere with no one around and get your license suspended.
Just like that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a case scenario where like I get pulled over, I get the ticket. The next day they suspend my license, but I'm not even notified. So then let's just say coincidentally, the following day I get pulled over by another cop for whatever it is. And they're like, hey, your license suspended. You're not supposed to be driving. I'm like, what do you mean? You're full of it. When my license is not suspended? And they're like, yeah, it is. And then what? All of a sudden, they take my car there because I can't drive and I'm not even notified properly?
I guess so, yeah.
I have a lot of questions.
You get impounded right there, baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't even know that I'm driving illegally. Mm-hmm. There has to be some form of legality for the notice at least. There has to be, because I'm literally driving. I don't even know my shit's suspended, and I get pulled over and I'm in trouble. Well, nobody told me.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's like if they get it and they probably have to tell you that your license is up for review or something like that. It's being submitted, right? And then they might give you some like link. You know, I don't know that this is, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, here's a sheet. You can check this the next whatever days, and find out by this time if your license has been suspended or not. And then I'm sure, obviously, they'll mail you something, but it's tough to prove that you received something by mail.
Where is the financial gain for the state of California for doing this? Because obviously I know they're doing it to allegedly make the roads safer, and I understand what they're doing it. But for anybody to think that California is not doing something for a monetary benefit, you're just being childish. Where does the monetary benefit come in for the state of California that incentivizes them to do something like this?
You think there's monetary benefit?
It's state of California. There's always monetary benefit. If it was something else, I would say no.
If anything, it's going to cost money because now people are going to be even more likely to fight those tickets.
Fight the over 100 tickets?
Yeah, and that costs money in the courts to do. I mean, even just submitting it, that's administrative costs. And then anyone that gets a ticket over 100 that gets suspended will immediately fight it. They're not just going to sign off on it.
No, of course.
So now that's more administrative costs. Like, court costs are not cheap for the state. It costs them money.
That's why I'm thinking about it. It doesn't make sense. It's the state of California. Trust me.
Yeah.
They're going to make money.
They got to pay a public prosecutor to come in there.
They're not going to eat this expense. That's why I'm thinking, like, where's the money? Maybe I don't know enough about the process, or maybe we don't research it enough, or they haven't announced enough details. There's money involved. It's the state of California. I promise you. I don't think we educated enough to know about it, to be honest with you.
I don't know either, but that's where we're at.
That's such a terrible spot to be in.
And also, like, kind of off that topic, I think what's interesting, which we've heard, and we obviously won't name any names here, but they seem to greatly be cracking down on driving violations from videos online.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, and we always joke, oh, like we were in Mexico, but there is a reason for that, which obviously we don't video these things, so that's helpful. I would never video myself doing some illegal stuff on the roads and then post that to my Instagram. And a big part of that is because so many people are getting in a lot of trouble because I'm showing where I am. You can see the street sign in the video. You can see the location. Like, that stuff, you're putting yourself at risk. And even if you're someone that's like, oh, well, my lawyer can fight it, like, hey, that costs you money, that costs you time. You know, you're opening yourself up to a lot of exposure. And there's people that have been cracked down onto a lot because of them going after, video evidence that your people are posting themselves.
Quite literally. Like people are like, it's getting so bad to the point where some people are having trouble even just being here in the United States just for that same type of thing. Is there an argument nowadays with AI generated videos that they can even argue that, oh, this was AI?
I mean, I'm sure that's going to be that we're going to see that more and more.
Yeah,
I
I
even
would
see
think
it
so.
sometimes already on the post,
Right.
where people say this was AI generated or whatever,
Yeah.
which obviously they're just. I think it's one of those things where it's like I'm not a lawyer and I think this is smart and they can't prove that, and
Right.
then it's like,
Can they prove it? For anybody in my computer techs out here, can they prove that? Destin, can somebody prove it's an AI video or no? Half-ass? Okay, word.
I mean, again, there will be forensic experts in digital forensic experts that they'll bring into the courtroom to analyze the video.
Forensic expert.
Yeah.
It's such bullshit.
You have, every time you go to a court, there are experts that they bring in. There's people that are paid to come in and give their expert advice on the case to inform whatever's going on. So like you could be I don't know why I'm just blanking on the actual term for an expert, but you could be brought in for as an expert on a like diminished value case for a car, or like if someone was suing a shop for overcharging them, whatever, like you could be brought in to be like, yeah, like this quote is BS. I would never like charge for that and that and that. Like that's all unnecessary. Like they could bring in someone like you as an expert to weigh in on the case. So there will be some digital AI expert. Like you just asked Destin, can they do that?
That's my digital expert right
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
That's the man behind everything. Anything digital, that's the man right there.
So, and then
California's so sad.
one
man.
more piece to all this.
Hit me.
They'll be installing like around 120 speed cameras around Los Angeles.
Oh my God, dude,
So
this is gonna be.
they can just
ridiculous.
mail you a ticket because they caught you on camera doing a certain speed.
It's gonna happen.
So buy stock in Waze because everyone will be using Waze because Waze calls out speed cameras.
That's actually really genius. I might have to switch to Waze.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get caught. I'm telling this right now.
long ways.
There's gonna happen. There's no shot. I'm trying to think of me really refining the way that I drive. There's just no chance. I'll just forget, and I'll just happen to be speeding and forgetting at the one spot that there's a random speed camera.
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. I'll live it for us, so I'll be able to report back after the process happens.
California
up.
is the best place for cars, but the worst place legally for cars.
It's the worst place legally anywhere in the U.S. California's just terrible across the board. The best place to live and the worst place to live at the same time.
I wanted to get this VF supercharged R8, and I can't.
Think about that. Even just as a dealer, like being a dealer in the state of California, they make it so difficult with all the emission laws that we can't even really dabble in anything in that realm. Like just California, it's literally, it's hilarious because they literally go, let's just make it as hard as possible for people just to operate normally, but yet we have the most desired living space in the entire United States. Let's just make it ass for everybody.
I just want to be able to enjoy Angela's Crest with mods.
Right, and not even worry about it.
Right.
But again, it goes back to, you said it spot on. Just a few people ruin everything for anybody. So that's literally why we are exactly the way we are.
I mean, that's everything.
It is.
Everything
It's
in
sad.
life,
It is.
every freedom we lose is because a few people ruin it for everyone else.
That's why, like, you know how now the modern era, it's very big on like exclusivity, especially like when you even see like communities like that. Like, I understand. Like, whenever time I see like a tight knit group, like a private group, I go, I get it. I fully get it, because there's all it takes is one bad apple, and it can destroy something beautiful built for years. One bad seed can just cause cancer across the entire whatever it is. So the growing theme of exclusivity, like, I completely understand why we're trending in that direction more and more and more as time goes on.
Let us know in the comments what you think about the new program. Is that guilty and before proven innocent? Is that just a basic constitutional violation?
I think it's a violation of the Constitution for doing that before the jury aspect of it. Like, again, like pretty much in reality, that's really the biggest switch with the law, is the fact that they could just do it right after.
Yeah.
That is quite literally, like, that is a direct violation of the U.S. Constitution. It's funny. You think Trump will let that stand?
He's not the one that decides that stuff. So that's a Supreme Court matter. It has to work its way up through the court
Oh,
system.
yes, we got a lot of time.
So it starts in the California Court of Appeals and then goes up.
Because it's already been approved here, or Newsom just was like, we're doing this?
It's approved.
It's approved.
I don't know. I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was voted on. It was executive or
Right.
I think it was probably voted on.
Okay, I'm interested to see. Also, comment down below estimated time frame. Do you guys think that I will get caught on a speed camera? I want to hear your guys' opinions. Is it 1 month, 2 months, 2 days, 2 weeks? Let me know. Very curious.
I think it might be active right now.
I think it is too. That's why I'm
I
asking.
think it's going.
And I'm in the 750 right now, so my chances are at their peak of getting caught in this.
101, it's cooked.
Dude, the 101 is cooked, and the problem is really the McLaren. 100 miles an hour in the McLaren happens like this, like a glass of water.
I need Matt to tune a limiter. Matt, can you tune a limit of 99 miles per hour on my car?
Please make my car shut off. If I go right if I pass 99, just shut it all off. Completely cook it. Oh my God, it's gonna be so bad.
Tough. I'm sure he could do it.
He can. Matt's a genius. Matt will do anything. I already know that.
Oh, the license plate thing.
Yeah, I mean,
it's on camera. If someone else is driving your car, I mean, then yeah.
Technically, it depends.
You'd have to claim and prove that you weren't the one driving.
Right. So that's the biggest thing. So we're basically stating now, okay, if it's a speed camera or is it a pullover? Because if it's a speed camera, they're going to go off the license plate. If you get pulled over, they're going to go off the driver.
For sure.
So if there's a speed camera and I get tagged, my license plate getting tagged, then all of a sudden, do they get to suspend my license? I can literally go, I wasn't driving my car.
Basically,
and then again, but it goes back to the same point though. The whole point is they can still suspend your license
until you prove that you weren't the one
until
driving.
you prove it. Yeah. So it's literally like the law is like innocent until proven guilty, but now it's like no, you're guilty until proven innocent, and it's the complete opposite.
And then in order to get off, you got to snitch on your boy.
Yeah, think about that. And they're really putting us in a hard bind.
Yeah.
I ain't no snitch. I'm running with it. If I get suspended, I'm getting suspended. I'm still driving, so I'm not even tripping.
I have a fun fact I wanted to share.
Let's roll into it.
If that's done, I feel like we covered that.
We love Gavin fun
In
facts.
depth, yeah. Maybe I'll bring a fun fact every episode. I want the people to learn some things, you know?
Let's hear it.
So when the Reventon came out, the Lamborghini Reventon, which was
we're going Reventon.
Yeah.
Wow, this is a really fun fact then.
rebodied Murcielago. It's the first time one of few.
Yeah.
I think is what they called him.
Reventon, yeah.
Reventon.
That is, you say that again, it was the rebodied what?
Murcielago.
Murcielago.
Yeah. One of few is what they call them. Their special rebody program. This one was it was like designed after fighter jets. Anyway,
I bet a lot of you guys didn't even know that car existed.
20 coupes, 20 roadsters. They were $1 million. They offered that car with the gated manual. You could get the gated manual in the Reventon. 0 cars were optioned with the manual. They all took the E-Gear.
Every single car that was sold took E-Gear.
All 40 of them were made with E-Gear. Not a single one rolled out of the factory with a 6-speed manual. But it was allowed. Shout out Jalopnik for that fun fact.
That's awesome. Lamborghini, again, the golden era of that, but then that was right in the middle when nobody wanted that. That was like in the transition phase.
No one wanted manuals.
Nobody wanted that.
And think about if one person did it, what that car would be worth today.
It would be a grail car. It would be a grail car. I think it would be, if we had a gated
Reventon.
Oh my gosh.
One gated Reventon.
I don't even care about the miles. Just one gated Reventon in today's market, that's a $5 to $7 million car, in my opinion.
Gotta be.
Easy.
I feel like it.
5 to 7. I almost wanted to say like 3.5, but I think that's low. 5 to 7.
5 to
I think
7.
10 is too high.
Gated Reventon.
Yeah, but 5 to 7 is healthy. 5 to 7 is healthy. 3.5 on the low end. Low end for sure.
So that's the fun fact for the day.
It's just a unique driving experience. It's, you know what's funny too? There's not a lot of people that can even comment on the Reventon driving experience in itself.
I mean, I would imagine anyone that's driven a Murcielago could probably pretty much comment on it.
What do we know the main differences between the two? Is there any difference at all, or just literally the rebodied style? No suspension, no powertrain, nothing.
Maybe it was tuned with a little more horsepower, but at the end of the day,
it's probably the same thing.
Same platform, same engine, same E-Gear.
So is nobody converting them?
I don't think anyone's. I mean, maybe someone's converted one, but not that.
Because the Murcielagos have seen such a crazy market spike from those conversions. I wonder if they do the Reventon, what's the market going to even look like on that? Mm-hmm. What does the Reventon even go for right this second?
No clue.
You said they were offered at $1 million
when they were new.
They were new.
Yeah.
That's curious. I want to look it up really quick. I want to be able to comment on it because I'm wondering: is that an over market price or is that a current market price?
$1 million?
Yeah.
I think they're definitely over market.
Let's see.
You're not getting a Reventon for $1 million. No shot.
Holy crap! Yeah, 1.5 to 1.7 for the coupe, 2.1 for the Roadster, 2007 to 2009.
Today?
Holy crap! No, that was when they were offered. I'm trying to find one for sale right now. Let me see if I can find one.
There may not be one.
There currently is. There's only 3 listed right here. What I'm seeing, one in the U.S., one in Dubai, and then one in the U.K. We have a coupe for 1.5 here in the U.S.
Ah, it's listed.
It is
price listed.
It is listed.
1.5.
Then we have, this is jamesedition.com, but I'm reading all this off of.
Makes sense.
Dubai, looks like there's another, looks like this is a coupe. Looks like they're actually, everything listed as a coupe right now from what I'm seeing here. And we got 1.5 in Dubai, and then we have 2.2 euros, obviously, in the UK. So not bad. Still flowing relatively, not anything crazy over what they were offered, but for a car from 2007 to 2009 to be holding at that price, oh my gosh, then for sure, if there was a gated manual, for sure $5 million. This confirms everything.
I feel like 5 is safe.
For sure,
For a
5.
factory gated Reventon, especially if it was the only one.
Can I piggyback off this for another value conversation?
Sure.
Let's talk about something that's very speculative. Like, let's talk about 5 years from now, okay? The years we're just crossing after 2030. How valuable do we think demand will be for like anything that's naturally aspirated V12? Because the number one theme about new cars today is, in reality, like F1's growing popularity as a sport and as driving engineering, like specifically with like Ferrari, but even Lamborghini in a sense too. They're going away and they're going into these smaller motors. Like, are we going to see the V12 demand really hold for the next 10 years, 5 years?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, most of the smaller motors are driven by the EU laws and stuff.
Yeah.
We think it's bad here.
The EU's for us.
EU got literal cylinder taxes.
Yeah. That's
like,
so bad.
you're taxed based on how many cylinders you got.
That is so terrible.
So you got a Tourbillon 16.
You're cooked.
I don't know what the taxes are, but that's the
You're
most.
fried.
You're not
You're
paying
fried.
any more than that.
I think if you're somebody that's just looking for a relatively safe buy, I think you can't go wrong with any V12.
Yeah.
Any V12.
Any naturally aspirated V12, you should
can't
be
go
in a
wrong.
super safe position value-wise.
Can't go wrong at all.
So, like, what do you think is going to be the most sought-after version in 5 years?
You want my unbiased opinion?
Yeah.
Unbiased opinion. Okay. You guys hear me? Unbiased opinion. I don't want to hear crap I'm about to say right now. Unbiased opinion. I think the A12.
You think so?
I really do. I really do. And the only reason I say that specifically, okay, and maybe I don't want to say the A12. I think Ferrari V12 is specific because they are the ones that really are the farthest deep into the V6 push. And then again, so when you have them so down the V6 push and they're the ones really, really, really pushing that front line, it's going to make the V12s are very unlikely to come back like that. I mean, the 12 cylinder still has the V12 in it like that. But I think the more and more they push for the V6, it's going to drive all the more analog V12s from Ferrari back in the day. And I don't think Lambo's, again, with the Revelto, they're adding hybrid technology, but they don't really seem like they're going off of it at all. I think Ferrari is even with the 12 cylindry, I still think anything 812, even I think 812, F12, that combination will probably be the one that peaks the most at some point. That's my own personal opinion.
Okay. So, over the Aventador.
Yeah.
Um,
Aventador, I think SV is the only one that really holds a chance to be able to compete with it. And I know price point is dressed, but I'm basically talking 812 GTS versus SV. Those two. I think GTS will beat the SV eventually.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, so the GTS has a very unique position of being the only like real production Ferrari V12 that came in a convertible.
Right.
So the F12 didn't come in a convertible. The 599 was a very, very limited GTO Aperta, like 25 total made. So that doesn't really count in the same way.
Right.
And then same with the 512 before it.
Yeah.
There was the 512 Super America, which was the strangest convertible top in all of history. Do you know anything about this car?
No, I don't.
So the roof literally like just flips backwards like that and then sits back on the bonnet upside down.
That's it.
Yes.
Okay, no compartment, no nothing like that. It's just,
no.
It's just laying.
And there's a funny effect that happens if it rains while the top's down. It just collects it like a bowl. And so when you put the top on, it just dumps water onto you.
What a design flaw by Ferrari. Oh, my goodness.
But the 512 Super America was also a pretty limited production, if I'm not mistaken. I know that much about the car. I don't know exactly. I don't remember exactly what the production was. I think it was pretty limited. So the 812, when they made the GTS, that was the first time they just opened it up as making their V12 GT car in a drop top
Right.
4 option.
And I know, again, I'm not stupid, so I understand SV Roadster being a limited car. Like, again, it has the potential per unit to skyrocket in price. I just think if we're really talking about, again, the question, what V12 is going to really see that peak, I think SVJ prices are kind of ridiculous, but I think the SVJ market is riddled with a lot of bad apples in the specific the cars. SV is kind of, that market's already creeping up. Like we had a client of ours buy one back in, holy crap, was that April already? April. He bought an SV Roadster back in April with 5,000 miles. We got it for just under 630. That car now, if you would put that same car, I think he's put a couple thousand miles on it. That same car with like 3,000 miles is 750. He's up 120 grand on that car specifically. So the SV market is already popped up. So like a lot of people saying like, oh, SV is going to go. SV's kind of gone. Like it's already gone up.
It's popped.
It's popped there. Like you can't get the right Roadster SV. You're in the mid 7s now. That used to be high 5s, low 6s. Now we're in the mid 7s. SVJs are now really not even that crazily under 7. It's 7 and up. And then Roadsters are 850 and $1 million up.
You think all those cars will be over $1 million in 5 years?
That's a tough one. So we're talking SVJs, all the SVJs over
all
$1 million?
SVs and SVJs.
SVs and SVJs. At some point, or what was the timeline?
5 years.
5 years? Wow, that's a great one.
I also have one more wrench to throw in this too.
Hit me.
So we already know that the Aventadors have a serious transmission flaw, right?
Yes.
And a
A
lot of
ticking
people,
time bomb.
yeah, a lot of people don't totally realize or know about this serious flaw. But in 5 years, will enough transmissions blow that it creates a reputation of going, hey, if you buy an Aventador that hasn't had its transmission replaced, like you're at risk of just having to cough up 100 grand to get it replaced.
Right.
And then,
Kind of like the older GT3s with the G series motors type of thing.
so like, what is that going to do to the value of those cars where people are scared without knowing especially without knowing the history of the transmission? Like, people are now scared to go and spend $1.2 million on a limited Aventador that may have a $100,000 transmission bill.
Right. That's kind of why, like, that's kind of my, like, what I'm talking about in terms of the SVJ market. Like, there's so many cars that are just giant question marks. Like, if you're really spending $900K on a car and you happen to buy a bad Apple, like, that one financial decision could literally bury your entire life. So, kind of going back onto your point.
Because in 5 years, that could be much more common knowledge than it is today.
I think it will be. I 100% think it will. I think it all depends on, again, one thing about Porsche that I do respect is when that happened with the GT3s back in the day, they owned it and they literally offered a 10-year warranty program on those cars. That is a manufacturer looking out for its customers.
Lamborghini just raised the price on their transmission.
Lamborghini was like, oh, we're breaking? Let's make some more racks, baby. Come on now. Look at that shareholder price up, baby. Numbers. So I think if Lambo gets behind it, because I know they're aware of it. So if they get behind it,
Why else would they
help.
crank up the price of the transmission?
Exactly. So if they get behind it like Porsche did, I think it could be safe and it will not tarnish reputation. I also think it's just, can I be honest with you? The one thing that's the question mark here that a lot of people don't factor in, the SVJ market holds even with having bad cars because obviously the driving experience, but at the same time, the value that car holds from a social media / like actual business value perspective, like not a lot of cars have that. If that luster dies off, I think that market will drop a little bit.
Okay.
And then you couple it with that transmission problem coming more to light. If those two catalysts happen, then I think that SVJ market can actually see a downturn. If those two things happen.
I think the one thing that it has going for it is that even today you look at what's driving prices for a lot of these cars, it's always the driving experience, and especially things that can't really be duplicated, right?
Right.
The Aventadors are just such a unique driving experience. Yeah. And the SVJ is the pinnacle of that experience. So,
in a sense.
And that's why so many people that, especially like, I mean, car lover, non-car lover, just I have money or I love cars. Like, unless you're a journalist, like there's journalists who are like, no, this car drives horribly.
Right.
And it's like, well, you drove a factory car with stock exhaust for a car and driver or whatever. And you're talking about the dynamics of the drive,
right?
Where everyone else is throwing insane exhaust on it, and they're driving it, wah, pop, wah, bah, and like that's what's fueling the
Right.
driving experience. So it seems like everyone that, especially, I mean, of course, people, whoever, all these people that post about the SVJs, they have multiple cars. The SVJ is always the one
Right.
that they're like, there's nothing like this.
Not at all.
Any of my other cars, I could go find another car to replace that driving experience. The SVJ, there's nothing I can find to replace that driving experience that this gives.
Very true.
And I think that's not going anywhere.
I agree.
Does that make sense?
100%.
So it's definitely got that going for it.
I think in the 5-year mark, barring anything crazy happening, I think they could very well be over $1 million. I don't know about SVs crossing that. Obviously, I think SVJs are easy on that realm. I think it also depends, obviously, as stupid as I'm saying it out loud, I think it also depends on the greater economy, make sure everything keeps flowing, obviously. But again, barring anything crazy from happening, I don't think there's any reason why all SVJs can't be over $1 million. My personal opinion. I think, though, at one point, maybe not in 5, but 10 years, we will see the finite amount of SVs really show. And people are going to be like, wow, these cars really are a lot more limited, the SVJ. And then it kind of pivots me into the next point is, not really the next point, but the continuing this topic is the Ultimate. The Ultimate is in such a weird spot as an Aventador. It's interesting. Like so from my experience, and this is kind of like why I'm interested in even, I'm like, if I had to pick tomorrow what car I'd get is kind of, I think I'm at an Ultimate.
Really?
Like I had to make a decision tomorrow, I'm taking an Ultimate.
Because you think it's a good value?
Hear me out. Not even 100% on that. I have talked to a couple people that have owned it and driven those cars. It is unanimously the same that is the best driving Aventador. It being like a 2022 Ultimate. It is it has, again, it's updated tech. Like even the tack is completely different than all the SVJs. Like, SVJ have a similar tack. This is a whole different tack.
Really?
Yeah, it's whole different. And then on top of that, with more refined suspension, it's just the best driving Aventador from right out of factory, like the last batch of them. So that for me, like imagine getting, again, it has center exit SVJ exhaust, so it sounds like that.
Sure.
And being able to be a lot more just comfortable driving, like it sounds like the dream. The only thing is that because of it being the last Aventador, they really paid homage to the original design. So from a design perspective, it looks very similar to the S's and the LP700s, but with SVJ center exhaust, and is probably arguably the best driving Aventador.
Yeah.
And it's also, I believe it's also rarer than the SV, if I'm not stupid as hell saying that out loud. Am I? I'm almost positive it is. Can we fact check me?
Yeah, I'll fact check it. Well,
I think it's 330. I think it's 333 or something like that. 350.
That's why they call it the Ultimate.
Right. So that market, so this is kind of what I'll pick while you look this up. Ultimates are in a weird spot price-wise too, because you have coupes, and we're talking low mileage coupes going for anywhere between 600 and 700K. Low mileage, regular mileage coupes going there. Some of them have even crossed underneath 600, depending on the Carfax or whatnot. But that's pretty much the coupe market, okay? So now you're talking SV Roadsters are more than the coupes. Now, Ultimate Roadsters are 850 and sometimes up. 800 is the floor on those. So you got coupes with a floor of 600, ceiling of 700, and Roadsters with a floor of 800, ceiling of $1 million. That gap is tremendous. I don't think any other combo is that tremendous between SVJ.
350 coupes, 250 roadsters.
So 550 in
600
total.
total.
How's that compared to the
250. The SV is 800, or the SV is 600, 500.
So it is more rare than the
And
SV.
then the SVJ is 800, 900.
So the SV is always the rarest Aventador. It's not the rarest Aventador. The Ultimate is. So then it goes back. The Ultimate is kind of in a weird spot.
I think the 50th anniversary is.
Technically, yeah, if we're going to really be into it. But you know what I mean. If we really get down to the nitty gritty, the Ultimate really should be that pinnacle of, again, it's got, so again, apparently, I haven't driven one. So you got to take my word from the people that I know that have owned the cars themselves. It's the best driving Aventador. It still has SVJ center exit exhaust, so you get all the sound that you want from it. The design is the only thing I think lacks in it. Again, upgraded tech, interior is all Alcantara, which is absolutely gorgeous on that car. And then on top of that, again, it's the rarest Aventador. Like, make me a case of why I shouldn't buy that car.
So the 50th, they made 100 and 100.
100 and 100. So
total.
that's the really one.
Yeah.
That's like the LP 720 version, right?
Yeah.
Like a 2014, I think, is the 50th?
I think so. It was like it was their first like special. It might have been.
I think it's 2014 because I think I almost bought
50th
one before I
anniversary.
bought my Aventador.
The Aventador or the Lamborghini 50th anniversary, I think, was 2013.
Didn't I almost buy a 50th?
You did almost buy a 50th.
I did, right?
Yeah.
That was 20. That's
Most of
20.
them
It's
were yellow.
2014.
They made them in yellow and
It's
red
2014.
mostly.
It's 2014.
So, anyways, the what's funny, even just like think about the different, what's it called? As far as like Ferrari goes, the 812. You have the 812 and the 812 comp. That's it. The Aventador, you have the Aventador, the 50th anniversary edition, the Pirelli edition, the Miura edition, the SV, the SVJ, the Ultimate,
the S.
the S, the J, 9? Maybe, and I might be missing one.
That is wild.
Yeah. So
There really is so
like,
many
do you
Aventadors.
count Pirelli edition and the Miura edition? Like, do people really care?
I don't really
For a couple
count
extra
those.
pinstripes?
I
Like
don't
nothing
care. I
really
don't count
changes.
those.
It's just
I
whatever.
don't count those. Yeah, I don't count
I always thought that like with the Pista Pirelli edition, no, not Pirelli. Yeah, Pirelli. What's the edition they have
for the Pistas?
for the Pista?
I don't know.
There's the one with the
It might be Pirelli
livery.
edition.
Yeah, it might be Pirelli.
It might be.
I don't know why that's like so desirable.
I don't even know. Again, it's now that you say how many Aventador models are, it's crazy how that car market is. It's so interesting.
There's
It's
so many
interesting.
different Aventadors.
There's so many.
But yeah, the Ultimate, like it is supposed to be the ultimate,
Right.
where it's like the balance of SVJ's sort of performance and all the things they did with the SVJ packed into this more comfortable GT driving experience. Now, I've always had like beef with it because the SVJ looks insane, the
Right.
SV looks insane, and they're like, this is the ultimate, and then it looks kind of normal.
Right. They did the homage thing, which I get. And like again, I think like Ferrari doing that would have been a more like classic Ferrari move. Like Lambo was more just on the crazier design. So they took a page out of Ferrari's book, like let's actually pay homage to our older design. But I don't think that was the right move on this specific car. They should have just taken what they know works and cranked it up a notch, or made like an SVJ Veneno blend. That would have sold so many units. That car would be $1.5 million all day long right now. But because of the design, so you guys tell me if I'm crazy then. Am I crazy for buying a Ultimate Coupe and just doing front and rear bumper and wing change on it? SVJ front bumper, SVJ.
Would you do that?
I really wouldn't. I don't want to go through all that trouble.
You could put a wing on it. I wouldn't judge you
Yeah.
for putting a wing on it.
That's it. I would put a wing on and that's it. And, like,
Spoiler.
am I crazy for wanting an Ultimate Coupe? Am I crazy for that?
I don't think you're that crazy because of kind of the value prop, and like you said, like it might be a more comfortable Aventador.
Because I'm looking at it from both perspectives.
I will say, clout-wise, it's nowhere near an SVJ.
Right? I know. That's my problem. It
As
really
much as
isn't.
anyone wants to make fun of us for caring about the clout, I don't know how much I care, but like,
Hey, it's relevant.
if you care about the clout, especially we're trying to grow.
I care about the clout.
We're trying to
So-
grow a brand as well.
Yeah.
So clout is everything. Why do
Quite
you think
literally.
everyone that creates content on the internet tries to make their car as crazy as possible and buy the whatever? Like the internet is all about clout. So
That's it. So again, Clout is very realistic. I think it's maddening to me that the Ultimate can be in this position, all because of literally it's the only thing keeping it down is the design. Think about this. I'm trying to look at it from both perspectives. Okay, if I get it, I'm going to drive it. Obviously, not drive it insane amount, but I'm going to drive it. So the fact that it's the most comfortable, most reliable, best version of the Aventador really matters to me. But then at the same time, again, we go back to your in 5 years, in 10 years, what are these old Aventadors going to be priced at? The longer time goes on, the whole SV argument before the Ultimate was that in time, these are going to be the rarest Aventadors because they're the most limited, right? So obviously, if you're counting the 50th anniversary edition, those are the most limited. But
Yeah.
if we take that out of the equation, we stick to the more mass-produced or more well-known models. That was the narrative of the SV, which was why the argument for buying the SVs when they were $400,000 or $500,000 was such a let's get this going because it is the most limited Aventador. The Ultimate took that slot. So now in 10 years, am I crazy to think that the Ultimate could get a boost in price? Because when they really get down to it, they're going to look at exactly what I'm looking at right now and go, this is kind of the best version of this entire production line.
So I think a big problem with everyone that says that is that rarity, saying that something is going to be more valuable just because there's less of them, is a flaw.
Okay,
Because that's not always true.
I agree.
Just because there's less of something doesn't make it more valuable, even in the long term. Like the car's demand is what's going to drive it, even if there's more. If there's more demand for the SVJ than the SV, even though there's more of them, it will cost more. That's how it works. The reason the Ultimate is not even ever brought into that conversation is because maybe there will be demand eventually. I'm not saying there won't be, but today there's just no demand for that car.
Right.
I mean, obviously there are people that there's people that will buy it and they want it, but right now it's the people that are going, oh, it's so much cheaper, and it's limited. But then
Right.
at the end of the day, our whole Clout conversation, it doesn't have nearly as much Clout as the SVJ, and Clout is a big price driver.
How many people that own SVJs own them for the monetary benefit?
For the marketing wise,
Yeah.
a lot.
Like, give me a percentage of like SVJ owners here in the United States. How many of them own it? Again, I'm not talking about like their primary reason is the marketing benefit. Because when you talk about demand, like that's the angle we have to cover here. Because the Ultimate, like you said, it has the least amount of clout, so it has no demand from the marketing perspective.
Well, just round numbers,
'Cause-
there's 1,700 cars worldwide. I guess I could look up exactly how many came to the United States, but there's usually close to 50%. So let's just call it 800 in America. It's probably about what we're at. Percent of 800 who are using that car specifically for clout
For marketing.
on the internet.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that high.
Okay.
I mean, we could call it like 10, we'll call it 10%. That's 80 cars. You think there's more than 80 like social media people that are just pushing the SVJ?
I'm thinking
80.
about it.
That's a big number of,
No, I know it is.
of users. Because I can rattle off 10, the
Easy.
top 10,
Easy.
and those are obvious. And then you could probably dig around, find 20, 30, but 80, I'm still being kind of generous.
I don't know. I'm thinking about it more and more.
That use
That's
it as
also
their,
under the
as
assumption
their
that we have
primary
800 in the U.S.
as their primary driver too.
Right.
Being marketing.
I think it also, well, obviously, I mean, a lot of the cars have passed and changed hands. So, like, a lot of people have had them, used them, dumped them, had them, used them, dumped them, passed over here. I just think the demand for that car is so heavy on the marketing aspect. So, like, when you talk about, like, okay, the problem with the SVJ having so much demand more than the Ultimate, people, like, the amount of people that are in a position to go, the Ultimate is a better driving car, I want that. Like, there's not that many people there because everybody who wants the SVJ is on their way to getting it. Like the marketing demand is all the idolization of the car online. So many people, like, the SVJ has all the clout, all the aura. That's the car I want. I don't actually care. The Ultimate is a better product. When are we going to get to a point where that demand has fallen off the SVJ? And is it still going to hold the same precedent if the marketing has no factor in it? Is the SVJ going to still hold that same precedence?
I think so.
It's going to stick here
Even
forever.
if it's not like specifically marketing on Instagram, it'll still be a clout thing either way, I think.
I can see it happening.
Because there's clout behind, there's still like local clout, right? That's a new term.
I know exactly what you mean, though.
Local clout was not on my bingo card, but
No, but I know exactly what
there's
you mean.
local clout that goes beyond just like, I'm flashing it all over Instagram. And then there's also collectability and collections and the whole nine. So there's a lot of factors that go into the value beyond just like, hey, I can sell courses with this bad boy.
Right. I still think, again, I don't want to go against you on the 80 thing, but I still think I would love to be able to find out this like actual number. I still think there's a lot more people using it for that benefit than we give it. Because I know what you mean. You're thinking of the people that do it in your head, but I know there's people, because I do this every day. I find new people on social media and I go, how did I not know of you before? Mm-hmm. I know there's at least 200 people with SVJs marketing them. Personally, I think. It's just we know about 50 or 80 because that's in our realm, that's in our algorithm. Mm-hmm. There's probably more that we're just not specifically aware of.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Because I will say it's also a lot harder today. 4 years ago, you could buy an SVJ, you could post it online, and you could just rack up followers.
Instantly.
Like that. Today, does not work like that. Too many people on the internet posting their cars, too many cars out there, too many different levels of cars. The SVJ is not enough. I got to get the Senna. The Senna's not enough. I got to get a Pagani. The Pagani's not enough. I got to get a Chiron. Chiron's not enough. Now I'm in the Koenigsegg. Like, there's too much stuff. There's too many people posting the cars. Where there was no one making content with a Koenigsegg 5 years ago. Now they are. Pagani's same. Like, those cars, Bugattis, like, those cars were outside of that reach in that realm. And now those are in that reach in that realm. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I can't believe we started with Huracans.
yeah,
We really the car used to be a Huracan, and now we're all the way up to hypers.
it's like one of our friends started buying a bunch of cars. Told us that he was told that like if he just starts posting the cars on social media, he'll gain a massive following. And I don't think that's the case today in 2026. You have to do more than just like I have a collection of cars and I'm posting them on the internet.
You got to build a storyline.
Yeah, unless you're a supercar Ron or like these people with massive collections,
Hamilton
collection, where it's multi-million dollar collections, and they're also cranking content. They're not just casual posting the collection.
Yeah,
like
it's not pictures of the cars. Like they're doing stuff too.
Yeah,
like Ron's bedazzled his Valkyrie for Christ's sake.
They have entire media teams dedicated to their media.
Correct.
It goes beyond, and that's what you're competing with now.
Yeah.
So that's the sidetrack here, but you can't just get a cool car today and start posting it and like expect a bunch of followers. It doesn't work like that anymore.
Not at all. People want to be able to follow a storyline is really the heavy part of it too. Like you can't just you can't be nobody and pop out with an SVJ because people are going to go. It's the marketing side of it has gotten so bad that people are going to question it. If you come out of nowhere and you just have an SVJ, they're like, why? They're like, this doesn't make any sense. I'm almost skeptical about this.
There's also pictures of SVJs everywhere.
Yeah, it's ridiculous now.
SVJs are getting posted every day. I could go to my Explore page and find 10 SVJ pictures and videos just off the rip immediately. So just because you have one doesn't mean like, oh, now I'm going to follow you unless you're doing some crazy stuff with it on the daily, right? And actually giving me a reason to follow it.
How did we get to this point in the conversation?
I don't know. Local Clout.
What was the original tangent that we were talking about?
We were talking about the different Aventador prices.
That's what we were talking about.
So, and you're talking about, am I crazy for wanting an Ultimate? And I think it's yes and no. And a cool spec, I'd respect it.
I think to piggyback off what you talked about the transmission problem, I think that's a major catalyst for that market, but I think it also is a major catalyst for the 812 market. Because that's partly why I moved off the Aventador, because the 812 is just such a more drivable version of that car. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's not the exact same for the sound experience. It's probably the closest thing you can get to it, but it's just such a more drivable car. So it just depends on what people want. But if that Aventador transmission problem becomes mainstream, it's just going to put the 812 in a perfect light. Mm-hmm. A perfect light. Like, oh, do you want this clunky ass tractor transmission? Just come over to the very nice, clean, smooth, buttery Ferrari dual clutch transmission.
Yeah.
I think the 812 is very well positioned. I know that was part of the conversation that got us all the way over here. 812, I think, is a very good position. That's kind of why I'm stuck. I'm like, do I get rid of mine? Do I hold mine? I don't really know what to do. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, part of me wants another Aventador. Like, that's everyone here. You guys comment down below. What do you think I should do? Should I stick with the 812 long term? Should I look to get an Aventador relatively soon? If it is, do you guys think I should get an Ultimate Roadster, SV Roadster, or SVJ Roadster? And don't just say SVJ because it's SVJ. Like, I need real reasons why I should get these cars. Real reasons. Because right now, I think Ultimate is number one for me. Like, if I had to do tomorrow, I'm doing an Ultimate.
Yeah. So between the 812 and the Aventador, I think either way you're safe. I think both of those cars, it's the last. Well, I mean, I guess this isn't the last non-hybrid, but the 12 cylindry looks like the 12 cylindry, and then the Reventon or the Revuelto is hybrid. So the Aventador still has it has something going for it. So I think value-wise, if you're looking at like, well, these are going to go up in value, I think you're pretty safe in the Ultimate as well.
I think so too.
Like both of those are
they're only poised to go up.
Those are ships that are rising with the tide. You know what I mean?
I kind of want to jump on ship, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
We'll see. Depending on the comments, I'll let the guys decide in the comments, but I think Ultimate is just really high up on there.
If anything, you're going from a base model into a limited model.
Yeah.
So your upside is better.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially if you think this is an undervalued special edition model and over time it'll be appreciated more. That's a little bit of a play, Yeah. You're doing some swing puts on that
some
one.
Speculative, some P's and Q's on some of that stuff right there.
But I don't think it's that far out of the reach, and I think you're pretty safe.
I think that's my biggest thing is I'm looking at it from a downside perspective, and I just don't really see too much downside. Mm-hmm. Like I only see upside, but I'm trying to think, am I crazily biased in that, or do I actually kind of make a little bit of sense in this argument here?
No, I think it makes sense.
I think maybe that's what I'll do. We'll see. We'll see. Stay tuned, guys. I'm excited for this thing.
I'm excited to watch it.
And rip it.
You better get a good spec. Don't get something basic.
No. We'll convene for the spec. We'll make sure it's SCC approved.
Well, I know at the end of the day, it's just going to be the deal. So
I am a big deal whore. So it just depends.
Hey, that's the best way to do it.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, I'm learning, and in my search, I'm starting to kind of actually search for something, because the longest time I was like, New Year is the earliest I'm going to search for something, and I'm like positioning myself to make a move.
Right.
And
To be ready to make a move.
I have completely nuked my whole plan to go, I'm set on what I'm getting and I'm doing it, to just, nope, nothing matters. All it is the deal and the value, and whatever I get, it's just to drive and have fun with and sell for more.
So you scrapped your plan, and now I know you're in the art of the deal, but what cars are in the search criteria for the art of the deal?
Search criteria would be still, I mean, the NSX, there's no deals. That's the rarest to find a deal on, NSX. But if I found one, I'd be down. Still love that car. R8s, deals are more prevalent in that
More of
world.
them.
570s, deals are very prevalent in that world.
Okay.
So I'm almost like, I feel like 570 might be what I end up in, specifically for the deal availability.
Okay.
And the plan would be drive for 3 months, sell for a little profit.
Okay. So that's a 3 market right there.
Then buy the next car. Drive for a couple months, sell for a profit. So I'm trying to just flip a few cars this year.
There's no Astons in that at all?
There are no Astons in that.
No Porsches?
I'm out on Aston. I'm out on Porsche.
Okay. I like where we sit then.
Yeah.
I like where we sit. So it's either R8, 570, or NSX.
New Vantage, still sexy.
I agree. Still sexy as shit.
There's one that drives around my area in orange, and every time I'm like, that is a
It's really
fantastic looking car.
It's such a nice car. It's
Now,
such a nice car.
230 grand, not happening.
Let it depreciate a couple years?
Yes.
We'll run that up.
Once those are around 100, that might be something I'm into.
I'm down for that heavily.
Those are gorgeous.
What do I want to see you in?
But the current, like the Vantage right now, I'm cold on again. So
Heavily cold on it.
yeah,
I have a feeling, in from what I've seen and kind of like just what you said, I think the 570 is really the leading contender right now.
for sure.
And it's just because of the deal aspect?
Yeah, there's just so many more deals. I think that's a colder market in a way. And there's a lot more of them. There's a lot more availability. A lot more of them hit wholesale. Like the NSX is so limited. There's just not a lot of cars. Supply is not high. So way fewer deals pass the table. R8, deals happen. That's what sent me down this path in the beginning, was the crazy deal popped up. I definitely see R8 deals happen. They come and they go. There's a VF supercharged convertible that I think is a fantastic deal. I just unfortunately can't buy it because I can't sell it
Right.
as a California dealer.
Right.
It really screws me over
Majorly.
because I would literally buy that car. Like that, I would buy it
Instantly.
So, yeah, shout out to the dealer. I forget who has it. It's a Porsche dealer in Florida. They have a supercharged R8. It's just like, you can't tell it's supercharged until you start digging into the listing.
Right.
So right now it just looks like a slightly overpriced R8, but I was just combing through everything and I found it was supercharged. I called them. They didn't even know what supercharger it had.
Really?
So, yeah. And so
You usually just see it on the
she
top of
looked
the
into it.
supercharger.
She went and looked and it was VF. And I was like, you have a VF supercharged 2015 R8 Spider for $100,000. What are we doing here? Like,
How many miles?
20,000.
How many miles on the supercharger?
So it came from California, and
Probably one of
then
gangs.
it's been in Florida for like 3,000 miles. So I mean, obviously, there's people can install it, and there's ways to pass smog with it here. So
Really?
there's no telling.
You can do that?
You can find somebody.
Huh?
I don't know. I haven't done it, but
Yeah, I don't know anything about that either. That's really interesting.
I know people in California with VF cars. So
That's very true.
There's a way to make it happen.
Yeah.
But as a dealer, unfortunately, that's out the cards.
Yeah, beats me.
I can't bend smog laws.
Beats me. I wouldn't even know how to. So, beats me. that R8 is absolutely, seems like a snipe of a deal.
The problem is, like, you know how we do listings, how Vegas Auto Gallery does listings where there's some highlights on the listing photo. If they just put VF supercharged, where someone scrolling through listings sees that's a VF supercharged R8, they could sell it. But you don't know until you're digging deep. And it's not even in the description. It's just like there's a supercharged badge that whoever did it, like, put it on there so you could see. So it's like under the V10 on the side, it says supercharged. So you have to literally comb through the photos, and I was like, oh, supercharged. And I was like, I wonder what it was. I'm reading description, can't find anything. I literally had to call to find out. So
Do you think they knew?
if you want a great deal, call that dealer, ask for Skylar, tell Skylar that Gavin sent you, and get a great deal on a supercharged R8.
Do you think they knew? Because to be honest with you, I wouldn't put it past them if they didn't even know it was on.
So on their website, it's listed. So on like their website, the Porsche, I forget what city it is, but Porsche whatever website, it says Audi R8 V10 supercharged.
But not on the actual.
But not on the
listings
description.
Everywhere. Oh, the description.
On the listings you're okay. Here's a little game for you because I used to work for a listing website, so I know how the back end works. Everyone gets their data from one company, right?
Okay.
So you purchase model name, trim name, all that stuff. So when you're listing a car, you choose the model, the trim, and so for like the R8 V10, your only options on like Auto Trader or Car Gurus would be to list it as R8 V10 or R8 V10 Plus.
Right.
That's it. You can't customize the trim name to show supercharged. But on their own website, they can type in whatever they want. So on their website, they have it showing supercharged. But on Auto Trader and Car Gurus, there's no way to call that out except for in the description or if you write it on the photo.
Right.
So people can see it. So it's kind of like this hidden, it's like a hidden supercharged R8 that's priced like it's not supercharged.
How much premium is it driving with a supercharger?
I would think I think 115 is a fair price for that car.
What is it listed at?
100.
100 right now? 100,000 it's listed at.
It was like 115 originally. It's just been dropping and dropping and dropping, and now it's at 100.
And how many miles in the car? Sorry, I know I asked
20,000.
20,000. That's a prime car,
And it's a 15
dude.
with the dual clutch. It might be a 14, but dual clutch R8 V10 convertible. Super. It has some like really clean aftermarket wheels on it too. Like it's ready.
Fuck, man, this is difficult.
It is sitting pretty. I wish I could buy it so bad.
Like that's why I'm stuck because I almost feel like I almost feel like telling you fuck the resale like that. That's Gavin. It's literally that car is screaming, Gavin, buy me.
I would have so fun in that car.
Hell yeah, you would have a lot of fun in that car.
But I live in California, and I'm a California dealer. So what can you do?
Yeah, that's kind of
All I can do is look and go, maybe in another life.
Maybe in another situation we could figure something
For
out.
real. I mean, it's like one day when we have another location outside of California, I can do it.
Easily all day.
But while we're just California only dealer, I'm cooked, chopped.
I'm trying to figure out. They don't have stock exhaust on it? They don't have the stock exhaust?
I don't know.
I would call and ask.
There's no other mods listed.
Because like again, I'm trying to think because maybe my brain is just fried from the day to day. Because the problem with California, it's not the direct supercharger is the issue, is it?
Yeah.
Walk me through that then. Why?
So for like a catback exhaust, you're kind of chilling, but like a supercharger is like a actual engine modification. It has to have a carb approval, that part, in order to be driven on the street. And VF doesn't have carb approval on their supercharger. So there's like a process they could potentially go through to get it carb approved, but it is not.
But they're not going to spend the money on doing it.
It is not carb approved.
Got
So there's basically like elements to the inspection, right? And it's one of those things, again, like if you took it to someone who like didn't realize it was supercharged or whatever, and the tuning was standard, so it just passed because it doesn't smell like anything, and the next thing would be visual. They look at the engine and it looks normal to them or whatever, and then it passes. The problem is you end up selling it in California, and whoever you sell it to, for good or for bad, could sue you for selling you the
Easily.
car. So
Is it a good deal without the supercharger?
it is market without the supercharger.
Okay. So then there's no value in it besides the fact that it's just ready to go, fully driven.
It's maybe like, I mean, honestly, it's probably listed at like a $5,000 premium
Okay.
is what it's listed at.
Got it. So that's that market on those cars, huh? I feel like that's not a bad deal on those cars. Like you said, the dual clutch 15s, that's really not that
Well, like
bad.
mid-90s?
Yeah, that's not bad on those
Yeah.
cars. That's not bad. That's a hell of a
Not
market.
bad at all.
That's a hell of a market.
A long time ago when I was looking at cars, I almost bought a 14 dual clutch with 30,000 miles on it coupe, which are more expensive than the Spiders, for 89. And it would be worth more today.
What a time to be alive.
Which that wasn't like, I mean, that's not like that crazy. The car would probably be worth 95, but
Right.
you know, I could have driven it.
I think it's funny because I think Audi as a brand is just going such in the wrong direction. Audi as a brand.
Dude, Audi's cooked.
Audi's just so shit. Like when you really compare them to Mercedes and
BMW.
BMW. Wow.
Other
Sorry,
than the
that was a
5
huge
Series,
blank.
because that car's
Right.
ugly.
Right. But like when you really take all the models across, like it's just, I don't know. I've never been an Audi guy, and I know you are. So like you saying that Audi's cooked, like it holds a lot of weight. I've just never been a fan. Like they've always been 3 for me, always, and like way below the other 2. Like it's literally Mercedes, BMW, Audi, always.
Well, this was their worst sales year of the decade.
2025 was?
2025.
Doesn't surprise me.
All of their cars look like Kia Fortes.
Well, they moved off the R8.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, their design language is
Yeah.
dog.
All the new designs. So the A5 has been redesigned, the A6 has been redesigned, the Q5 has been redesigned. They all just look like different sized Kia Fortes. The Q5 looks like a Kia Forte SUV. A6 looks like a bigger Kia Forte, and the A5 just looks like
so
a Kia
bad.
Forte.
Now, is that an Audi problem, or do you think that's a design language problem as a whole across the industry that we're seeing?
Well, both.
Okay.
But it's also just, I mean, it is an Audi design language problem first, and I think there's an industry design language problem.
On the back end.
What do you think? Do you think it's...
Yeah, no, I agree with you completely. I think I think I've said it before on an older podcast, but I think we're in this mid-ground of like, they're trying to be really modern with the design, but like don't exactly know, nothing hasn't hit. Because like we talk about modern design, like Ferrari's modern design has not been a hit. But Lamborghini's modern design, in my opinion, like the Revelto looks like what I've always dreamed of having when I was 4 or 5, when I was a kid. Like it looks like, obviously it doesn't look like a Veneno, but like when I think of that kind of, whoa, Revelto has that presence.
Awesome.
Lamborghini hit their modern design language right on the head. Even the Temerario is growing on me, but I don't think it's fantastic. I think the Temerario falls into that, what are we doing?
Great side profile.
Yeah.
Great rear.
Terrible straight on
Yeah,
profile.
the front.
It's terrible.
The front's where they went wrong.
Terrible. So like that modern design, it goes into 2 categories. Lamborghini literally has 1 and 1. One hit around the head, one's dog shit. Ferrari, everything's dog shit. Audi, everything's dog shit.
Well, you know how they say that history repeats itself?
Yeah.
I think we're repeating car design history right now. Like the 60s and 70s, you had beautiful car design, right? And then we rolled into the 80s. Everyone was trying to go, for that time, modern, futuristic looking. Everything got boxy and square. And now we look at most of those designs and think they're hideous. 80s and 90s was not
90s pretty bad.
not a great time for car designs. Now there's some outliers. There's some good looking cars.
Yeah, 100%.
But as a whole,
It was
bad
pretty
time
weak.
for car
Pretty
design.
weak. We didn't get good until like really getting into the 2000s and going.
2000s, 2010s, golden years again. Golden years of car design. We got some amazing, beautiful, timeless cars. And now we're repeating the 80s.
Right now.
Yes, people are trying too hard to go into the futuristic car designs. And what makes me the most annoyed is, and this may be the whole agenda here, and this is what Audi's doing, they're trying to like marry their gas car designs to their EV car designs. So EV cars are all real bubbly and stuff for the drag coefficient to make them more efficient, because you're just trying to squeeze out every kilowatt.
Right.
For that range, because everything's about range for those. So that's why they all look like that. They all have that bubble look. So now that we're making all of the gas-powered cars, we're assimilating the design language to the EV cars as well. That's a big thumbs down for me.
That's a big ass down right there.
Yes, brother. So I don't know. I think we're repeating history with car design. I think we had 20 years of golden era, and we are just moving into bad, because Audi's bad. The BMW 5 Series, to me, is disgusting.
I think like half of BMW's fire, half of BMW's ass. So I think like BMW split. Mercedes, I think, hasn't really gone too drastically off.
Yeah, they're
still pretty.
They're still doing all right.
What they're going wrong is just some of their motor choices on some of the cars and their pricing. Like everybody has their own problems. It's funny. It's just, I think we're at that point where now this kind of goes back to, I'm going to ask you this question. I think, and maybe I'm tripping, the majority of consumers have really openly voiced out that the design language is really not hitting at all. At what point do the manufacturers start to actually say that and actually pivot back to, even if it's just, hey, let's go back to square one and make a car that looks like it came from the 2015 era, and then we can start building back off of that? Do we think that they're listening, or do you think they're just trying to shove it down people's throat and they're like, no, this is what we need to do?
I don't know. One thing this just comes to mind. We used to have so many more concept cars, and that was almost like testing the waters of design language.
Right.
We put out this concept car. We see what people are saying. Do people like it? What do people not like? And then you can kind of go back to the drawing board and iron out your design language. But today it's like, we're not doing that. We're just, boom, here it is. It comes out next month.
Yep.
And like it or not, and everyone's like, well, this is ugly.
There's only two brands right now really pushing design language in the positive note. It's Lamborghini with the Revelto, and it's Corvette with the ZR1. Those are the only two brands pushing design language in the right direction. That's it. Corvette has a concept car.
Yeah.
And it looks mental.
But it looks like it's never going to, it looks like it's 30 years from now. That's one thing for me about concept cars. I like concept cars that are like almost production ready, not something like, this is the future.
Right. But what you just said, concept cars are kind of almost like the test waters for design language. Imagine if Corvette's like, okay, we're going to slowly go to that design language. Mm-hmm. That's going to be pretty freaking sick if they do that. So again, I think the ZR1 is like, in terms of fitting itself into that marketplace, the design language, in my opinion, car looks nasty. You can't argue that. I don't think the car looks bad at all. Mm-hmm. So you fit it in with everything, all the Ferrari models, everything. I think those are the only two brands that have a product that is actually driving design language in a positive. Revelto, I think, is still the king. Revelto's the king of design.
The Revelto's gorgeous.
Especially, and then I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm a really big fan of some of the modifications I'm seeing on those cars. Like that spoiler that has those lights that go down like on the strip.
Of course you like that. Yeah.
I love it. And then the wing, I really do.
Yeah, that's your style.
It really is. I love it.
Maybe
I'll get a Revelto.
Here's my one design hot take. I think that the 1415 R8, which call it bias, call it not, I think the 1415 R8 is going to go down as like the best looking R8 iteration.
Really?
Really.
That's a big
Because I think the Gen 1 is so much more timeless, the original design. And that 1415 is the Gen 1 with the most updated LED lights and modern and whatever. Like that model looks the best. It's the most cohesive design. I think the first years of the redesign is next, like 17 to 20, 19 is like the next best looking. I think when they refreshed Gen 2, I think it got worse.
Really?
I think the 20 to present
I respect that.
was worse than the first iteration of the Gen 2. So I think 1415 is so basically the Gen 1 refresh is the best. Then the Gen 1 pre-refresh, then the original design, then the newest ones. I think the newest model is the worst looking.
I think I'm on the opposite spectrum of you on that one.
Really?
I think from just what I'm not an R8 fanatic like you, so my knowledge is not as deep as yours. The newest GT, I think that's the best looking R8.
Okay, so now we're talking about the GT.
It's an R8.
Sure.
Is it not fall in that category?
There's a lot of stuff going on with that GT.
I think it looks mental.
The GT looks great.
The newest GT.
The newest GT.
That's the best looking R8.
Is fantastic.
You like that one?
I like that one a lot.
Okay, sorry. I didn't know if I thought those. Those were counted in there. This is not.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
I'm not an R8 doctor. That's you.
I kind of just mean the basic design.
The basic ones. Okay. I didn't realize that was outside of the realm of what we were talking about. That's
the newest GT. That's out there.
I'm just picturing a listing of one because I remember seeing a listing and like stopping on it and going, what the fuck is this? And then I looked at it, I was like, this shit's hot.
Yeah, the newest GT is awesome. They threw so much on that car and it works, and I'm a big fan of the newest GT.
I would definitely buy. I would look if I didn't give a fuck, I was adding my collection, I'd buy one.
Same. If you gave me any R8 whatever, that's what I would take.
Shit's hot.
And even if you were like, hey, no dollar amount, go get what you want or whatever, or you gave me some sort of a budget and I couldn't get a GT, I'd still take one of the newer ones because it's a better car, better tech, all that stuff.
Car.
But as just like a car design, I like the 1415, how they look better.
I can kind of sit on that. If we're not counting GT model specifically, I can get on board with that. The Gen 1 thing, like where you go deeper into it, I can't get on board with that. Like I think
look too old.
Yeah, for me it does. Because that's Gen 1 or the 14 is Gen 1 refresh. So 13 and older is Gen 1. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm not, it's just too old looking for me. 14 is where I would start.
What if you updated the lights and updated the grill? Then you're pretty much in the same spot.
Yeah. So it's literally bumper, grill, headlights is the main thing.
Yeah, it's really just grill and headlights.
The
and
rear's
taillights.
not different on those cars? The 14s to 13s?
The
It is,
tailpipe
right?
is a little different.
That's it.
The shape is the same, but the tailpipe is like a perfect circle on the 14, 15s. And then on the Pre's, it's an oval.
Yeah, it's like I know, I'm picturing it in my head. It's a little weird oval.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me,
But the way the bumper kind of forms to the round tailpipes on the 14, 15 is...
For me, the 14, 15 is like when I picture it, it's what I look at. And then like the older ones are kind of like a Ferrari type of thing. Like that's what I look, when I think about like the oval tailpipe and everything. It's like they were trying, but like they were riding with the wrong hand.
Great for the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Great for the time. The 14, 15 was making a great design modern.
Exactly.
They took that design and made it timeless.
Exactly.
With
I
all
agree with
all
that.
the right, because we switched over to everything LED and nice or laser and modern, timeless.
Do you think it's a coincidence that that's the same year that like Ferrari has its last greatest designs as well?
The 458 and everything?
Yeah.
Potentially.
Is it a timing thing?
That was a Pininfarina.
Yeah.
458's last
That's like
Pininfarina design
that is
car.
still if Ferrari continues in this direction and really starts to downfall, like that'll be arguably the greatest downfall in automotive history. Them moving off of that completely. Because the 458 is such. I meat right it so hard. I really think that car is just so special. That 458, everything, Pininfarina design, 9,000 RPM, flat plane crank. The last V8 from Ferrari like that of its kind. And then again, you know the drive of that car. Like when you really know what that car feels like.
That's why these 488s are kind of have become the ugly stepchild of the Ferrari lineup.
They really have, but it's funny because it only happened recently. Because when these cars came out, everybody was hot on them because it was like, we just stuck turbos behind Ferrari design. Let's run.
Everyone hated that.
The turbo side, they hated it because of the noise. The speed, fantastic, but it muffled the original sound. That's why everyone was like, 458 still sound king. Speed, this is like, these cars were the beginning of them picking up the horsepower war that we're in now. Because now we're in 1,000 plus. This was like, I'm thinking of everything that was competing after in 2016.
I'm gonna argue with you just a little bit.
Go ahead, argue with me. That's
when
fine.
the car came out, everyone hated the turbos.
100% they did.
We left naturally aspirated, we left the 9,000 RPM, and then it sounded horrible too. So when this first came out, it was like, what is Ferrari doing?
Correct.
So obviously people started driving, it's way faster.
Correct.
For the time, this was one of the fastest cars you could buy. So it was lightning, but it lacked any emotion.
It lacked the driving experience. It was just fast.
Right.
It didn't have soul. It didn't have like what we talk about, what it needs.
When the Pista came out, everyone was like, if only the 488 was like this.
Organically.
Pista is perfect.
Yeah,
Everyone loved the Pista. And then the F8 is basically, driving experience-wise, very similar to the Pista.
Very much so.
So that's why the F8 super desirable. Last twin turbo V8, or last just V8 Ferrari in that lineup. And then the 458 is the last naturally aspirated, and the 488 just kind of sits as this in between. This was the car it took to figure it out.
Right. Kind of see like let's test the waters. The thing about these cars that, again, you have to own it and even know it's possible. Like if you put an exhaust tune on these cars, they're really special. They really are. Like not even just to like, it's not trying to like hype it up too much. An exhaust tune on this car is all this car needs to really elevate to that level.
100%.
Not even,
You
don't
can
need
make them
anything else.
sound crazy.
Fantastic.
And very, very fast.
Yeah.
So 100%. Most people just like, they don't want to have to do that work to have a fun car. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Especially when you're spending that money and it's a Ferrari. I don't want to mod my Ferrari. No one wants to buy a modded Ferrari.
Exactly. I mean, we live a little bit different era. The 488 is like, for speaking personally, it's one of the most memorable Ferraris from my life because I remember being in the white C7 Z06 and I was in Newport Beach on like near Javier's area, and I was at a red light and I was always into like, okay, like Corvette can beat a Ferrari type thing, and then 488 pulled up and I was like, oh, I'll smoke this dude. And I remember getting off the line, smoking him off the line, and then about like 50 miles an hour, 60 mile an hour, he started walking me. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, there's really levels to this.
Yeah.
And I still have that moment in my head, remembering seeing that car gap on me like that, and now being able to sit here and talk a little bit of like in between crap about it a little bit is just hilarious.
Yeah.
I vividly remember getting walked by one.
Car's fast.
Walked.
Car's fast.
And I don't even know if that car was tuned at the time. Like I was not a child, but I wasn't like who I am today in this space. So I have no idea that car was tuned or not. I just vividly remember stomping on the C706 with 650 torque, 650 horsepower, getting off the line, but then at 60, 70 miles an hour, just getting gapped.
Wow.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like,
Fast car.
oh, we need a faster car. I was like, this is bullshit.
They're fast cars.
This is bullshit.
One more thing to end it?
Let's
Or
do it.
Do you have anything else?
No, I'm good. I think the only thing that I'm going to say before we dive into this is I know I was talking about getting an Ultimate. From the last 5 minutes, a Revelto is creeping up on that. Like, I'm going to go check Reveltos after we're done with this podcast.
Your value's definitely not as safe there.
It's not. Exactly. That's why. But I'm thinking of like the design. Like, if I just get my hands on a Revelto, we can start modding it. I'll have a mental car. Clout marketing. We'll figure it out, guys. Don't worry. Comment down below. Go ahead, your thing.
Okay, so because we were talking about Ferraris and modding them and all that stuff. Did you see Alex, aka Crossroad, aka Moving Merch? He posted
AKA 6'7"?
he posted a PSA to people that Ferrari will not sue you if you modify your car.
Right.
Do people actually think that Ferrari will sue them for
So
modifying their car?
yeah. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
I've never heard. I mean,
no. Thank you for bringing this up. Hold
I've
on.
never heard anyone like claim that. I know there's non-car people
Right.
that like heard a rumor one time and think
Right.
like, oh, doesn't Ferrari like sue people for doing stuff to their cars?
That's exactly what
But do
happened.
real car people think that?
No. So not real car people. Like, so
Okay.
that's the thing. Owners.
So his PSA was for not real car people.
Well, that's the thing. Like Alex is a mainstream content creator. So like the majority of people that consume his content aren't the owners of all these cars. So that rumor from back in the day has grown so much. And again, it still says pretty prevalent that people who aren't in this world and are unaware really think like Ferrari's out here sending out suits to people that mod their car. I would have been locked up in prison if that was the case. I literally put white wheels, lowered it, and made it crazy spit flames. They would have got me behind bars already if that was true.
Yeah, Mansory would be sued.
Yeah, I think exactly. Think about that. So yeah, Alex's thing is to just, I don't even think it was a serious video he said when he was posting that.
He seemed
but
serious.
Yeah, he was like, guys, this is not exactly what's happening.
He wasn't using his accent. That's how you know
Oh, he
it's
was really
serious.
talking
yeah,
like that? Alex was going crazy.
You can mod your Ferrari. They will not sue
Ferrari's not going
you.
to
They
sue
sued
you.
one person one time.
It's it. And that rumor took off. But
Yes,
that's
the
kind of what
Ferrari.
happens.
Go look up the Ferrari. It was crazy. He had the neon cat on the side.
Yeah, it
I
was
remember
pretty
those
wild.
days.
It was pretty wild.
You literally
days.
put Ferrari on the calipers.
That was like the era beginning of the car marketing and like kind of bringing it into light in that sense.
So they sent him a cease and desist. It was
Yeah.
Dead Mouse.
Yep.
And he went and bought a Huracan. And just did the exact same thing that he had on his 458. He just did it on the Lambo.
That
Like,
was
fine,
it.
you don't want the marketing?
Cool.
Lambo gets the marketing. Here's
Done.
the Huracan.
Yep. I love it. I think it's so beautiful that's like what? That was about 10 years ago now, right? Just about?
Yeah, 2014.
So think about it. We've now, in that time, we've completely flipped the narrative. Completely. We're like modding a car. Like even I saw a clip from one of our previous episodes. We talk about just Ferraris being in multiple colors, like again, more rare colors. Like we're so far on the other end of the spectrum of the car market, and it's happened in such a smaller gap than previous history before. I'm excited to see the next 4 years unravel because I think your comparison of timeline history repeating itself, I think you're spot on with that.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see how the next couple of years turn out. And I'm excited to see, again, which manufacturers listen to their clientele and put out a product. Like, if you've noticed, we haven't talked about McLaren in this modern design language at all.
Yeah.
Because McLaren, and again, this is me, I even forgot about this right now. Revelto is for sure the design language king, but McLaren is very much so listening to consumers. And with the 750S, like, that car is perfect. Has a V8, fast as hell, design language was amazing.
Lightweight.
And it's becoming more reliable. Like, that's one of the brands that's still just chugging along in the right direction. Ferrari's turned around going the opposite way, and Lambo's kind of, we're doing this right, but then we're also just kind of, we have like some exposure to some more radical stuff.
Yeah.
I think McLaren, I realized we didn't even bring up McLaren because their
No.
design language is
Hey,
not flawed at all.
Yeah, they're doing what they're doing.
They're doing exactly
They're
what
not doing
they're
anything crazy.
We didn't even bring it up.
They're the definition of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Except
Exactly.
it was broken, they are fixing it.
They're fixing it,
As far
exactly.
as reliability goes.
Yes.
I actually have one more thing because I mentioned Mansory, and I just have to say this.
Go ahead.
I'm scrolling Instagram, and I see an ad for Under Armour Mansory collab. There's Under Armour like apparel with Mansory on it.
Was it an official Under Armour ad?
Yes,
Like
yes.
from Under Armour?
Yes, you go to Under
Really?
Armour's website right now, search Mansory, and there's a whole catalog of products. Like, who's out there buying a Mansory quarter zip? Is there a market for a Mansory or a Mansory arm sleeve?
I can picture like a car meet in Kansas, and there's a guy with some Mansory kit, some fake Mansory kit, wearing that.
Or
that
some
jacket.
like middle school basketball player, like he gets the arm sleeve with Mansory on it. He's rocking that in the YMCA league.
I could see that happening. That is wild, though.
'Cause
I
I
think
know-
Mansory's overdoing it then, if that's the case.
I know they made the Under Armour edition 4GT with Steph Curry, which was weird. It's like to see a Mansory 4GT with Under Armour like embroidered on the headrest.
That wasn't. I saw.
I
that was
didn't know we were
disgusting.
making clothing.
Well, I think so. It kind of goes back. So this is a topic we can maybe talk about this in either Patreon or our next episode, because I know again we're running short on time. But there's the companies that are widely known for like the aftermarket life between Mansory and Brabus. There's a war going on silently in the background, because both those companies, if you really look at what they're doing, it's becoming more about lifestyle than the car itself. So the way they're doing it, it's like Mansory teaming up with Under Armour doing it. I think they're overdoing it. Brabus,
It's a weird partnership.
it's a really weird partnership.
That partnership makes no sense.
You know why?
Under Armour and Mansory?
Mansory doesn't have the power to be able to produce and style their own stuff. So they're just saying, let's attach ourselves to someone that's pre-existing, has brand establishment. Our name will pull enough weight to make sales. Brabus is like, no, we're literally coming out with Brabus line stuff, and it makes it a lot better imagery when you have Brabus high line luxury design clothing versus Mansory going, hey, let's stick our name on an Under Armour quarter zip and let's run. That's
so
terrible.
bad.
Versus Brabus is making one-off clothing, handbags everywhere. They're playing the longer game in this lifestyle battle versus Mansory knows we're hot right now. How do we max out our sales, keep ourselves relative? Let's partner with a big name. They should have just done Nike or Adidas. Under Armour was the shittiest choice possible in that group.
It like there's no correlation there. That makes no sense
At all.
If I didn't see that ad and I saw someone rocking an Under Armour Mansory quarter zip, I would think that they just like bought it on the street of New York City
Right. And yeah,
from
exactly.
some street vendor. Like,
Some Puerto Rican guy was saying, yo, I got Mansory, hit me up, I got you, 25 a pop.
There's no way this is a legit product.
And it's crazy how legit it is.
They've got a whole catalog.
They're running ads.
They're running ads.
pumping ad money into the catalog.
Like,
That's how crazy it is.
This person likes car content. Hit them with the Mansory Under Armour clothing.
It's fucking so wild that we've gotten to this point, dude. If you would have told me where we'd be at in 10 years, I'd be like, what the fuck happened? How did we get here? But
Anyway, go
That's our
subscribe
time,
to the
right?
Patreon. Yeah.
Again, guys,
Like
if you guys
this
want, going off of what Gavin said, if you guys want to hear more raw content, lot of stuff more about lifestyle, a little bit more of Gavin and us and just our organic nature in the Patreon, please head over there, like and subscribe. Again, it is free right now, so we want to get many of you guys in there while it's free. Anything else?
Yeah. Just go in there, comment what you want to hear.
Let's see. All right, guys, we're Supercar Connection. We're out.